So, Gamer Christmas is kind of over. We had that little fun time where we get to watch and wonder what's going on with, the E3 and things like that. Traditionally, when we'd get an E3 showcase from Microsoft, we'd get a very much interesting situation where later on we would see something from Sony, and later on that changed, so they'd have almost a day later before they actually came out and announced anything. Now it looks like Sony's going to have weeks to kind of prepare and get things ready for what Microsoft showed was a decent showcase. I feel like Microsoft kind of showcases more towards Game Pass than anything else. It's like I can't help but wonder if that hinders what they're doing or not. Like, I haven't really decided. For me personally, like, Game Pass isn't really a big deal, and I don't use it very often, but I do sort of still question sometimes if this is something of the case when it comes to what Microsoft is doing versus what Sony is doing. And I'm sure Sony's going to blow us all away, and like, if I had to place any money down on it, I would definitely bet on PlayStation coming out swinging with a lot of announcements and things like that. And I kind of already gave my thoughts and opinions on what the Xbox E3 was, which I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was their best well-paced conference in probably 3 or 4 years. Overall, I wish Halo would have showed better. It still had a very lackluster showing, and I'm very concerned about that game. But at the same time, I still think that, they had a solid showcase. If you're somebody that lives and dies only Xbox, you'll probably be pretty happy. If you're somebody that's like, oh man, Game Pass is the bee's knees, you know what I mean? And then I think you'll probably think that, that it's amazing. But if you're somebody who was really looking forward to what they were coming out with, or maybe seeing some footage showcasing games they announced a couple of years ago or whatever, then I would say that probably you're going to be a little bit disappointed. Like, for me personally, I got the Xbox Series X under the assumption that it would, come out with some killer games. Like, we were kind of bait and switched a little bit with Xbox, if you think about it, due to the simple fact that they announced a Bethesda buyout. They announced that there's all these games and all this kind of stuff, and then they showcase, Hellblade 2, Everwild, Avowed, State of Decay 3, Forza Motorsport, Fable. They showed all these games, Perfect Dark, and it turns out all these games are like 2023, 2024. And I always hate to be that I told you so guy, but I said that a couple years ago. I remember saying that in like 2019, 2018, 2019, that these games probably wouldn't release until 2023 or 2024, and people made fun of me. The people that slap that like button, you gotta slap that like button, slap it for me, slap it for you, slap it for the super chat, slap it for the culture. Again, you would really be kind of hard-pressed to find people that didn't make fun of me or call me a fearmonger when I said stuff like that. And it wasn't a fear-mongering. It was just using my head and realizing that, these games aren't going to be ready anytime soon. And, I was 100% right. And I'm not asking for people to come back and, apologize or anything like that, because I realize that people obviously aren't going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't in the habit of going out and apologizing for stuff. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there, that I was right after all this time. So what will happen with Microsoft and Sony? What's going to happen with Sony now that Microsoft show is out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can happen next? What can we expect from Sony? Well, I expect some good things. And Sony did have a very good reaction to what Microsoft did today, right? Like, Sony could have went out there and announced something and probably taken, the thunder away from what Microsoft wanted to do. But at the same time, they played it really cool, and I think they did the right thing with how they kind of handled this. And I thought it was very cool. And I thought it was very slick the way that they just kind of did things, kind of stayed quiet, which I think you kind of want them to do. Versus what's going on now. So this is really cool. Herman Hulst actually came out and said, congrats to Phil Spencer and the whole team on a great showcase. Great time to be a gamer. very subtle, very, concise, quick to the point. You just kind of point to this and you go, well, that's not a bad thing. It kind of is what it is. And at the same time, I just feel like this is a situation where, gamers are going to be very kind of concise one way or the other. Like when I say that the PlayStation Nation is going to wait and kind of see what happens with that. Like, nobody's going to cap for that. Like, I mean, there might be some people, the way that people, cap for, Xbox, like, oh, this was the best thing ever, when honestly it wasn't. I mean, it was a good showing. It was a fast-paced showing, but certainly not seeing any Starfield gameplay, that's a year and a half away, that there's no launch date for Halo, that there's no beta for Halo. Forza Horizon 5, obviously good. It's a good proposition with Game Pass, but overall I just feel like it's probably still not a great show. Sony can go out there and showcase and actually keep some secrets and stuff, because when you think about it, what was announced today that was really not even rumored to be announced? Obviously the mini fridge, but seriously, if you think about it, the only game, which was the game Redfall, that's the only game that was really a surprise. Even somebody that might point to The Outer Worlds 2. I mean, listen, The Outer Worlds 1 was a AA surprise hit, sold like 2-3 million copies. The sequel obviously probably will do much less than that, since it's not going to be on PlayStation, but they even poke fun at themselves in the trailer saying, hey, you know what, this game isn't going to be ready for a while. So, when's this game going to release? Probably 2024, 2025, something like that. Smaller team working on it. So again, we're sort of at the mercy of this whole wait and see type situation. And, I'm not like, there's stuff to play, but there still isn't that I got to get an Xbox to play this type moment yet, and I haven't seen that. And it's kind of unfortunate, but I do hope that they go out there and, and kind of make things right, and kind of do things, a certain way, to get people excited. I'm not that excited by what I saw from Microsoft today, but I thought it was a decent show, and I think Sony handled it well. They literally do not have to go out there and do anything to compete with that. Like, honestly, they don't have to say anything or do much. I think that they've already done a pretty good job of getting people excited. Ratchet and Clank gets people excited, and Horizon Forbidden West will get people excited. Stuff coming next year will get people excited, and I think that's what so many people are excited for, the future of all this stuff. And I think that that's why so many people are sort of react the way that they do to these types of things. So I do hope that keeps on happening, and I hope that Sony kind of continues to get underestimated. For some reason, people really underestimate what they're doing, and I don't understand it. Like, this company has literally led the pack for 4 out of the 5 generations they've been in, and they're already 2-1 up on what Microsoft is doing. So Microsoft did leave room today, whether you're watching this, their E3 conference, they left room for Sony to come in there and sweep in and kind of do a better show and kind of have some better announcements. And I think that anybody who disagrees with that, just go back and look. If Sony shows a couple new games that are coming soon, shows some Ragnarok footage that looks great, I think that we're going to see a lot of people be very, very happy with what Sony's doing. Like, again, the fall off of Halo is real. Like, there's not even a guarantee that game's going to launch this year. Specifically the single player, it looks like the multiplayer might launch this year, but what a debacle that would be. Think about that. For them not to launch the single player with it, I just think that that's really unfortunate. And could be, we're hearing lots of different rumors and stuff like that. Again, why would you show CGI for Halo? I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. Here we are, supposedly 5-6 months away from launch, and you're showing us CGI for a game that's been in development, 6.5 years. I'm very sort of shocked by that still to this day, yeah. Not good stuff, but Sony, good response. I think that people are going to be even more excited. Sony has weeks to kind of put something together and one up Microsoft. Obviously, probably most of their stuff is already planned out that they're going to show, But, you know, maybe spend the next few weeks getting that CGI or something and that gameplay in that's going to actually take you that one step above. But I like the reaction that, oh, we're all just gamers here, and then see you in a few weeks where we just absolutely dominate what they've done. So let me know what you guys think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.